The Automatic Blade Positioning System from Caterpillar. This system, patented by Caterpillar, mimics the operator's manual operations by automatically lowering the blade when a machine is shifted into forward and raising it in reverse, all to operator-settable heights stored in the Kickout feature, and all without touching the joystick. ABP was especially designed to automate much of the repetitive work of positioning the blade on Caterpillar H-Series 824H, 834H wheel dozers and 826H, 836H landfill compactors. Before we begin explaining how to use the ABP system, safety is the first priority. While you should view this video in its entirety and adhere to its guidelines, it is not a substitute for the operation and maintenance manual. Please study the O&M manual thoroughly. We'll begin by talking about ABP's 4 operating modes. In the off mode, the blade on a Caterpillar compactor or dozer will not be automatically positioned during directional shifts. In active mode, ABP positions the blade as needed during directional shifts. Keep in mind, the operator can still use the joystick in the off and active modes to position the blade to any desired heights needed by the operator. Returning the blade to the set height, either when raising or lowering the blade, without having to hold the joystick in place, is known as the Kickout function. We'll talk more in a few moments about setting and adjusting Kickout heights. The final 2 operating modes of ABP are Standby and System Error. In Standby mode, ABP will temporarily not position the blade on directional shifts. To return to active mode, the machine must simply resume normal operation. And a rapidly blinking ABP indicator in the cab denotes System Error mode, meaning there's a problem with the system. Let's move now to getting the system active. To turn on ABP, the engine must be running and the parking brake disengaged. The implement lockout switch in the armrest must be in the unlocked or off position, and the steering lock lever must be in the unlocked position. Press and hold the ABP enable switch, also located in the armrest, for about 2 seconds. The ABP indicator lamp in the dash will come on, and the audible indicator will beep once. ABP is now active and ready to get to work. Designed for operator convenience, the ABP system is easy to use. Once the system is enabled, accelerate the engine to normal operating range. Set the throttle lock if desired. Shift into forward and leave the joystick in the hold or middle position. As the machine starts to move forward, the blade will lower to the Kickout set point automatically. Continue to operate the blade and machine normally, and when the machine is shifted into reverse, the blade will automatically raise to the preset Kickout point. It's that easy. To set the upper Kickout height, where the blade will raise on a reverse or return pass, position the blade at the desired height and press the rearward part of the Kickout set switch. The procedure is the same for setting the lower or return to doze level for forward passes. Position the blade at the desired height and press the forward part of the Kickout set switch. When a Kickout position is set, a single beep will sound. The volume of the beep can be adjusted by turning the cover over the Kickout set horn found under the joystick control pod. Now, to turn off ABP manually, simply press the ABP enable switch. The indicator lamp turns off. ABP will automatically turn off for any of the following reasons. The parking brake is engaged, the implement lockout switch is moved to the locked or on position, the steering lock lever is moved to the locked position, the system is in standby mode for longer than 2 minutes, or the machine exceeds speed limitations, 12.5 miles or 20 kilometers per hour in the 826H, 836H, or 15 miles or 24 kilometers per hour in the 824H, 834H. Under any of these conditions, the audible indicator will beep rapidly 3 times and the ABP indicator lamp turns off. Also note that ABP will go into standby mode for 2 reasons. When the transmission direction switch is in the neutral position, or the machine's ground speed is greater than 14 kilometers per hour. Remember, if ABP is in standby mode for more than 2 minutes, the system will turn off and must be turned on by using the ABP enable switch. Now let's talk about the kickout function. This is the function that allows the operator to raise or lower the blade without having to hold the joystick in place. In current production machines, without this feature, the operator has to pull and hold the joystick back until the blade is raised to the desired height. If the operator lets go of the joystick during the cycle, the blade stops immediately without reaching the desired height. With the kickout function, simply pulling the joystick back initiates the raise kickout function. And now, when the operator lets off the joystick returns to neutral, but the blade will continue to raise until it reaches the upper set point. The procedure for activating the lower kickout function is identical to the upper. Both the raise and lower kickout features can be individually turned on or off at the operator's will. Machines shipped from the factory will have both kickouts turned off. Turning them on is very simple. However, note that turning the kickouts on or off using the following procedure only affects the joystick method of starting a kickout, not ABP. To turn the raise kickout on, the key must be in the on position. Press and hold the ABP enable switch on and press the rearward position of the kickout set switch. Both switches are located in the armrest. When the kickout is turned on, the audible indicator will beep once. To turn off the kickout, repeat the procedure. This time, the audible indicator will beep rapidly 3 times to indicate that the kickout has been turned off. To turn the lower kickout on or off, repeat the raise kickout procedure. But this time, the operator presses the forward side of the kickout set switch. And remember, every time the operator starts the engine, the kickout will remain in the same on or off position it was in when the engine was shut down. Here are some other helpful tips about the automatic blade positioning system and kickout feature. How quickly the blade lowers to kickout set points may change depending on how fast the engine is running. If the engine speed is less than 1200 RPMs for longer than 10 seconds, the blade will lower more slowly in a lower kickout, because this is not typically a normal operating mode. To override the slow speed, move the joystick to the lower detent position, manually starting a lower kickout. When the engine speed is raised above 1250 RPMs for at least 5 seconds, or immediately after reaching 1700 RPMs, the blade will lower at normal speed. The blade float operation remains a feature on machines equipped with the ABP system, but how an operator activates it has changed. Now, to activate blade float operation when the blade is lower than the lower kickout set point, push the joystick into the lower detent position. Once in float, allow the joystick to return to the hold position. To cancel float operation, move the joystick out of the hold position in either direction. Remember, the joystick can always be used in a detent position to raise or lower the blade to kickout set points. Keep in mind, this part of the feature is not enabled from the factory and must be turned on with the procedure previously described. After a directional shift, the machine must start moving faster than 1.2 miles per hour before a kickout will be activated, and a kickout will not start if the machine does not start moving within 5 seconds after a directional switch change. A kickout will not be performed on the same directional shift, like forward to neutral and returning to forward. And if the joystick is not in the hold position on a directional shift, ABP will not start a kickout except when spreading in the forward direction. In this case, the joystick can be used to raise the blade, and when the machine is shifted into reverse, ABP will continue raising the blade to the kickout set point. The automatic blade positioning system. One more way Caterpillar is helping its customers become more efficient and productive.